Two, please. Ian Pergol and I started meeting for lunch once a month back in 2018. Ian lost his daughter Olivia at the University of Maryland the same year that I lost Jordan. And basically we were just two fathers who shared a life-changing experience of losing a child. And basically we just kind of get together once a month because at that time we were two people that could really understand what we were both dealing with. One of our conversations that we often discussed was how do we make an impact and how do we advocate for his daughter had I think it was mold in the dorm, and obviously our story was a sports-related injury story. And one of the things that we agreed on many things is advocacy is a full-time job. It is a 100% full-time job. The fraternity of fathers who can be brave enough to be vulnerable, sharing their feelings on rough days, which are frequent, early on with one another, who experience the same thing is literally a handful. Coach Mike Loxley at the University of Maryland would call and text me every morning, just because he had lost his son Nico in 2017, and basically he was one of the only people that really knew what I was going through in regards to even burying his son. I wasn't a visionary when I heard about Matt Jr.'s death. I reached out to Matt Sr. I didn't know, he doesn't know me. I don't know if he would reach out to me. I didn't know if he would reach out to me. However, if he did reach out to me, basically, I was prepared to offer and extend the same support that other fathers, a handful of fathers that extended me, because I knew what he was dealing with losing a son, Matthew Jr. So again, like I said, I didn't know Matthew would, he would reach out to me. I just knew that it was the right thing to do at the right time, because I know what he needed the most was somebody that could understand, especially another father and what he was going through. I'm glad Matt reached out to me. He responded, and here we are today making an impact in the world with our son's legacies. As a parent, we always think our kids are special. Sometimes we don't know how special they are, and we don't know their mission. However, when their mission is impactful to the world, again, it still surprises us. A lot of times, if you ask me, this wasn't my calling. If you ask me, literally, would I be speaking in front of groups of diverse crowds and people would actually be listening to me, I'd tell you we're crazy, right? If you told me that I'd be in the national media weekly, I'd be in the local media a lot. I'd be a thought leader. I'd be an author. I'd be an advocate for student-athlete state legislation or student-athlete national legislation. I was told you wouldn't say it. I just didn't see it. But you know what they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans and see how that works out for you. As a father, no matter what happens, we always carry the burden of what we could have done better. Whatever happened to Jordan, or what happened to Jordan, it was totally my fault. However, and I thought I literally taught Jordan everything I knew about always being a leader, stand up for yourself around your peers, never be a follower, don't do drugs, don't experiment, all the things that fathers teach sons. However, I did prepare Jordan by not teaching him to, if your body tells you to stop, stop. If you feel uncomfortable around a coach or an adult, speak up. However, I didn't teach him that because I wasn't aware of all these things at that next level, the collegiate level. It's beyond amazing how these life experiences bring the least likely of people together. I told you Ian Pergol, Ian was on one side of the tracks, I was on another side of the tracks, Matt's in another state, I'm in another state, and here we are together making a difference. But the interesting thing is, the amount of fathers that I reach out to in regards to losing their sons to sports injuries and things like that, it's a very, very small percentage of other fathers that even respond. Because as men, we take it as our fault. As men, we try to be strong for our families. And as men, a lot of times, we don't know how to be vulnerable with our peers or anything like that. And that's just one of the downfalls, ladies, that we do as men. That's just a reality for a lot of us. The strength and courage that it takes to make a change in the world is always an uphill battle. It's not easy, especially in advocacy, especially when you talk about legislation and bills and things like that. Yeah, in the state of Maryland, I've got 4 laws passed since Georgia passed, but ask me how many people know about any of them. See, the interesting thing when it comes to legislation is it's not only a significant thing to get a law passed, but the real advocacy comes into work by letting everybody in the room know that these laws protect you. These laws protect your children. These laws protect your student athlete. And that's the real part of advocacy. Getting legislation passed is great and ideal. However, the message still has to be carried out that these things are there in place to protect your kids. Now, on the birthday stories. Jordan turned 18 back in 2017. I asked him, wherever you want to go, son, I'll take you. Miami, Las Vegas, because I'm thinking these are the hip spots for an 18-year-old kid, right? He says, nah, Dad, I want to go to Universal Studios. All right, cool, we'll go to Universal. Now, I'm the biggest Harry Potter fan in the world, right? So I got more out of it than he did. I probably had more fun than he did. So as we're riding on the train, for those of us, any of the Harry Potter fans, we're riding on the train to Diagon Alley. I'm beyond excited, right? I'm in Diagon Alley. Jordan had to talk me out of buying a wizarding hat and a wand, right? Because as a father, like, Dad, don't do it. I'm like, no, I'm going to go with it. But as a father, one of the things that we always have to do is stay cool with our sons, especially with our sons. You always got to put up a cool front. So I had more fun, and the interesting thing was we were on this ride, right? And we, you go to any type of amusement parks, and you may stand in line. It seemed like hours to get on a ride. So we're standing in Hogwarts Castle, and I'm sitting here like, man, I'm excited to ride through the castle and everything. As soon as we get to the front, it seemed like we stood in line for hours. As soon as we got to the front of the line, the attendant was like, wait a minute, let me see if you two can fit on this ride, right? So she put us on the seat, snapped us in. I could fit, it was a tight fit. At 6'5", a size 16 shoe, 300 pounds, he wasn't fitting. That's it. Now, here I am. It took everything in me as a father and a Harry Potter fan to make a life decision, right? Because I really wanted to tell him, son, you know what, I'll just meet you outside. That's what I really wanted to say, right? But as a father, this is what we do for our kids. We make these sacrifices. And the interesting thing, in 19 years, there were a ton of sacrifices. Short of breaking the law, right? So at Ohio State, I was in business at that time, and I was in one leg of a different business, and things were very tight. And at that time, he was being recruited by Ohio State, and he was like, Dad, I want to go to Ohio State. They invited me up, and I'm like, okay, son. All right. Now, keep in mind, when things are slow, certain things go when you're unemployed, right? Or you're self-employed. Car insurance kind of went around that time, right? My tags had expired, and I knew a guy that worked at the car dealership, and I went out there and got a sticker from him, right? So as we're riding to Ohio, all around these one-lane highways, he kept saying, Dad, let me drive. I'm like, no, son, I got it. So we get to Ohio State, and met with Coach Eric Meyer, and I had the whole experience and everything. So even on the way back, he keeps saying, Dad, let me drive. And I'm like, no, man, I got it. Right? But again, this is what we do as parents for our kids. And the thing is, kids will never know the experience or the sacrifices that we make for them to get opportunities, for them to be in better places, for them to live better lives. And that just goes with a part of parenthood. And not even getting on that ride at Universal Studios, that was a part of my sacrifice that I continuously made for my son, one of many. So at this time, I really want to say thank you to the Mangines, Kim and Matt. Happily heavenly birthday to Matthew Jr. Let's give him a round of applause. I know and I'm confident that he's looking down on mom and dad saying, job well done. I'm confident in that. I know that Jordan looks down on me and say, Dad, well done. All I ask is that, and I'll continue to ask, surround his family, everybody in the room. They need your support, whatever it may be, not only financially, it may be, hey, helping them get the foundation off the ground. Guess what? Because we're in the room, and guess what? The more people that we have in the room, the more impact that we can make to spread the message of student-athlete safety. I want to say thank you to everyone for listening to me. A room full of people I don't know, but I did have something to say. I asked, as DJ just said, if you are a parent of a student athlete, can my child play is a book that you must read? Because the title of the book states the two questions that we always ask when it comes to our children playing. I was the same parent. Can he play, and why isn't he playing? I never thought to ask any other safety questions. There should be a laundry list of safety questions that should be asked and are far more important than can they play or should they not be playing. So everybody give yourself a round of applause. Thank you for hearing me once again. Thank you.